Hello. Hello, hello.
It's not gonna open.
It's not gonna open, no. Hi. And welcome everybody except Frame Man. Hello. How are we doing? Are we doing? It's Frame Man. Please. I will look in over the weekend. I will attempt to look into actually trying to get a more stable connection thing going up, because this is getting annoying. Did you said the screen started stuttering? He doesn't like that you're excluding him. Let's hop over here. Maybe it's quieter over here. Hi. Howdy doody. How are we? Are we well? We doing good? Such a whiny bit. I know. As is Hazel, apparently. Also taking the day off. Literally nothing has changed since last time. But hey, Windows, eh? You're alright, that's good. I'm plodding along, I guess. Getting stuff done, etc. I need to remember to book my COVID booster, which I haven't had yet because I haven't left the house this year. We all have Windows for sure. It's amazing. It's absolute no issues here. No sorry. Yeah, I just got random phone call today, and I'm like, who on earth is phoning me? Nobody phones me. Who phones anyone anymore? And turns out it's the NHS letting me know. Your jab's ready. Oh. But yeah, enough of that. It just sent you a text saying, this day, this time, be there or we will come and get you. Oh no. Oh, hey, hello. I'm just gonna... Do-ba-do-do. Yep. I can do this without getting killed in Metal Gear Solid this time, so that's nice. Cool. Having a couple of those. I should have paid attention to it, so I could put the thing on the blocked list. Frame Man, please calm down. Hi, Miss. How you doing? Hi, Kirsty. How you doing? Dog's is sitting on line the floor but wants to be pet. Oh no! Do I want to become famous? Not particularly, no. Oh, your follows. Okay, I'm gonna keep a note of that in the notepad, so that I don't forget to put it on the block list. Right. Enough of that. Let's try and get at least 80% of the stream broadcast before Frame Man eats it. Got a text a few weeks ago being like, hey, did you know that you can walk in at any moment to get your booster at this location? Insert location that's not the same as the one where you got your other bags. Yeah, I think there's a walk-in place, like, right near my house. Which is not where I got my previous ones, so. You're good, you're trying to eat a burger. Is it fighting back, or? Oh, completely different city. That's interesting. Yeah, welcome to stream. It's stream. We are stream. We are number stream. It's the Bioshock Infinite Drawthrough. And we're going to be drawing through Bioshock Infinite. So, yeah. No, it's legit, but it also made you seem so shifty for no reason. That's what I thought when I got phoned up. Why are you phoning me? Send me an email. Hello. Welcome to stream. Welcome to stream. I welcome you to stream. Yeah, okay, so, what's happened so far? We've gone to Floating City, tried to rescue Girl. Turns out Girl can rip portals in a fabric of reality, and people don't want to let her go. Lots of fighting has ensued, and now we're just trying to get an airship to get off the city, and we have promised the leader of a rebellion against this incredibly racist city that we will get we will go to a local gunsmith to try and get guns for her rebellion so that we can have the airship and leave. It's basically the gist of up until this point. All that's happened so far, you only trust Issa. That's fair. So we arrive at Terminaton, constructed and owned by Grigoris Termini, who is entrepreneur, which is the nicest way of saying it, who basically owns forced labor camps. Not strictly speaking forced. You know, they are welcome to, you know, try and find work elsewhere or whatever, but somebody's going to undercut them. Also interdimensional plagiarist, that is true. One of the things that he made was the handyman, which is basically taking people with life-threatening illnesses, ripping their bodies apart, sticking them in suits of metal, and making them work for him because they're now stronger and need to pay back the money that body cost. Frame man, please. Stop it, frame man, or I'll put you in a big metal suit. Also, Issa's mad at us because we attempted to take her somewhere that... We said we were going to take her to Paris so that she'd come with us. But we actually tried to take her to Manhattan, and then she smacked us in the face with a wrench. So she's mad, and she's storming off, trying to get away from us. And she does reluctantly help us not fall to our death after being thrown off the side of the city by a handyman. We are in the sky, bear that in mind. He's just got to stop it. It's supposed to be running, but that's how good I can do action. That's supposed to be a run. She does reluctantly help us, saying she doesn't want this, she doesn't want to help us anymore, but we're probably the only person who can actually get her out of here. So, she doesn't trust us, she doesn't really want to be associated with us. But we are her best bet at the moment. So she agrees to go and help us recruit this gunsmith. We take an elevator down to Terminaton proper, where we see a bunch of horrible working practices, and we get a phone call in the elevator, which stops. And we take the phone call, and it turns out it's Terminaton, Termini, Grigoris Termini, yes, himself, saying that he is ready for us to have our job interview. We did not apply for a job interview. Everybody is confused. We arrive at the house of the gunsmith, and it turns out he has been taken for basically conspiracy to collude with the Vox Populi, who are the people who we're trying to get the guns for, which makes sense. Instantly reminds you of James Acker's story when he said that as a child, he once got very angry at a pool and stormed off having to wade through the water to remind people he was very cross every so often. The big splash. Frame Man. This is what Frame Man's doing right now. Honest. Yeah, so we find his wife, who is very upset that he had been taken. She's praying to a Buddha statue in the house, or in the workshop, for his safe return. It turns out he's been taken to the Good Happy Fun Time Club. I can't remember what we called it, but the Good Fun Happy Fun Time Club. Which is just across the street. Just across the street from the... Oh yeah, TTS is also broken, because Windows, so I'm going to have to reload my bot again. That's fine, it's just on the desktop. It's all good. Hazel's taking the day off, which is understandable if Frame Man keeps being like this. I wouldn't want to be around him either. Hi, Doc. Yeah, so also just across from his workshop is a big door with a massive lock. We can't unlock that lock, but it's there and it's conspicuous. But we don't need to go there at the moment. We instead go to the Happy Fun Time Club, and in the Happy Fun Time Club, as apparently tickled Miss last time, is a corpse hanging from a clock. It turns out this is the old head of security for Grigoris Termini, who did not do a particularly good job. And that is apparently what we're here to interview for. Basically, he's trying to find somebody enterprising, and we have killed about 700 policemen at this point. So, what are you framing? Frame Man's kidnapped her. No, Frame Man is resolutely here. Well, I don't know. Frame Man doesn't seem like evil, just purely chaotic. Yeah, I don't know. Chaotic neutral. So yeah, we then go through the audition, which involves shooting 50 more people. And Grigoris goes, "Ah, congratulations, boy, you got the job." And we're like, "We're not here for a job." We are here to find. It was Gunny Smith. That was the name of the gunsmith we're trying to find. Gunny Smith. So we just said no. We're here just to find Gunny Smith. We hear he's here. And Gregoris is like, oh yeah, I know all about that thing, but you'll be much better off taking my offer. We're like, no, thank you. So we go into the back room of the Good Happy Fun Time Theatre, and we discover it's not really a back room. There's like a whole complex of prisons and all sorts of things in here, including footage of Gunny Smith being tortured. He's got like 2 massive black eyes, blood running down his face. It's very unpleasant. So that's not a good sign. There's also a pigeon in a cage, and a few boxes here and there, which are assets that have been seized from the Vox Populi. So this place is like a little base of sort of keeping stuff, including people apparently, who have in some way colluded with the Vox Populi or against Columbia. Assets. Not ast served. Assets. Which, I mean, I don't know what the assets are. Oops. Yeah. For the Vox Populi sympathizers. Oh, hey, King Vader. Assets. That's King Vader for you. So we go deeper into the thing where we find a whole bunch of prison cells. They're mostly empty. But we also find the forlorn, unblinking figure of Thaddeus Ghibli. That was it. Who we didn't kill and was evidently captured and taken here. And Lord knows what happened. But, you know, I thought he was covered in blood when you come here. Apparently he's not. Ghibli, tips Fedora. I have actually heard people say Ghibli. There's Ghibli and Ghibli. I've heard both, and now I think I'm justified in saying Ghibli now. So yeah, that's where we are. We are exploring these dungeon areas. One thing I will do, just a little addition to this tableau that we see here. Are guards. There are guards in here. Oh no! King Vader's gotten us into the bot. I'll just draw a guard leaning up against the wall. That's fine. They're wearing like a big old tin hat, like straps around the thing. Anyway, how's everybody's day been? Also, how do you draw? So yeah, there are guards here, you run through, you shoot them as you do with guards, but I need to draw them for reasons that will become apparent later. Quiet, a little cold for a bit. Oh. I did see this. Bit chilly outside the works and such. Haven't drawn anything today. Have I drawn anything today? No, I did draw stuff today. Did I draw anything from scratch today? No. Have you considered drinking all the hot chocolate? That is a good consideration to have, it must be said. What's going to be interesting about this person? I think there is like a man and a woman in here as well as some other soldiers, but burger hath been consumed. Wonderful. dent in it. Been good. Got a new phone. Did some Elden, set up Valheim stuff for Friday. All right. I did see that some Valheim things have occurred. Something to do with caves and frost. My experiences online have been very quiet recently, because the number of people I've had to unfollow for posting Elden Ring spoilers is quite astonishing. It's whatever, it's fine. This is a god though, it's fine. We're all gonna die this Friday. Don't worry about it. It's just caves. There's new crisps, right? Elden rings? Yeah. They're like onion rings, but moldy. Elden Souls. Dark Souls 4. That's basically what it looks like. Dark Souls 4 now with added horse. But people seem to think it's really, really good, so that's great. Hooray! Who'd have thought a Dark Souls game would be good? Souls rings. Here's my question. Does it have any references in it to Eternal Ring, which was a previous game by From Software? Souls horse. Horse rings. What? It's like an equestrian event, jumping through rings or something. Eternal Souls horse. That's a cryptid or something, isn't it? One person you've been watching has been eating only ring-based food for the entire playthrough time. Why? They've added a Del Toro. That's Sekiro. Yes, soldiers in here. Right, okay, we work our way down. And we find our way into a cell. Right at the bottom, in which we find a chair. It's a very dark room. We walk in, we can't really see anything, and then we find a light switch on the wall, hit the light switch, turn around, and then we see... slumped in a chair. See, I've never drawn anyone who's like had significant, bruising. I'm nice to my characters, so that doesn't happen. It's too early for your brain to be melting. Well, don't worry. There's definitely nothing going to happen in this stream that's going to help with that. Yes, puff of blood coming out the nose and so on and so forth. You would do that to a character. Do you know what I remembered the other day? And by the other day, I mean 2 hours before stream. There's an app called Artful that I completely forgot existed because I haven't been on my phone for years. So I need to get back posting things on there because I had a quick check and there's like 700 things posted on there by Miss that I need to reblog because they're all good. Everybody look up Miss's stuff. How do you draw injury? I don't know what his hair's like. Hair like that. It's fine. This is great. I know, right? We're like strapped to the chair. There's straps like that. Sort of. Legs crossed like this. Arms up. Anyway, to cut a long story short, he's dead. This causes some problems. So no guns. Basically, yeah, like Issa's looking over the body, it's like, oh my god, he's dead. Oh no. And Jack responds with, where are we going to get guns from now? Like straps holding the arms down. I don't know, something like this. I don't know, clothes. But yeah, he just sort of flops over in the chair and there's blood everywhere. It's very unpleasant. And this is in like a darkened room. Oh, allow. Oh, that was the entire phrase, "You're such a whore," comma. Am I just going to have to go into auto mod and just say, look, any variation on whore for the purposes of this draw through is fine? Even though we're long past the Hall of Whores, it's a recurring motif. Bruises and blood and bruises and it's very unpleasant. Every Wednesday stream, you discover new ways to get the word whore modded. Just Miss Art used add permitted term whore. See, I don't know how long that lasts, that's the thing. But thank you for taking the initiative. I like how I only added... Well, not I only, I just did it because I trust her, but I added Miss as a moderator initially because Miss had seen playthroughs of Hitman and as a consequence could report spoilers. Freeman can't appear on the ads. Freeman, stop it. Yeah, I just like how like that was the main reason that I added Miss as a mod, and now here she is having to add permitted terms like whore. Thank you for using your spare time in this way. I will buy you some fudge. Try to refresh and just became worse. No. Anyway. This is a dark room and there's like a spotlight. And I think at this point, like, Gregora's term and I just like box you over an intercom or something. And as I say, like, Issa's very sympathetic, is like, oh no, he's dead. And Jack is very pragmatic in the form of, we're not getting guns now, are we? There. No, that works. Yeah, good. Nice. Sorry, chance. Misses are good. Freyman less so. 17% of this stream has disappeared. I will endeavour to actually try and work out better ways of having a more stable internet connection. Because this is getting silly. Depends on the word you think you had to add baby dinosaur for it to start. Yes, whore or baby dinosaur, which is more offensive? Why is he sitting in a gamer chair? He was wearing a gamer dress, but it got ripped and torn today. So yeah, Jack is just like, well, we're gonna need to find another place to get guns. And he goes, Jack, he's dead. He's been tortured to death. Have a little bit of sympathy. He's dead. And it's at this point that a couple of people appear in the doorway behind. And they start talking about death for a bit. I can't really do, like, quick reveals in this format, can I? Burb! No! Not a burb. I can do quick reveals if you all promise to look away for 5 minutes. And then you all leave and never come back. Baby dino whore. Just missed that. Irritating furniture. Ooh, lovely. Does that count? Absolutely. Enjoy furniture rotation. I hear it's fun. You have a doggo on you, it's fine. Yeah. Why do you, yeah, whatever. What if but long? Yeah. So you may recognize these two as being bloody everywhere. Yeah, so these are the two people who, among other things, gave us the weird glitchy drink that gave us weird shields at the beginning of the game. They gave Issa her little brooch, gave her the choice between the cage and the bird. Where else have they been? They were juggling at the beginning of the game. One of them was juggling, anyway. Oh yeah, they did the coin flip thing at the beginning. What a reveal! It's them! It's the ones who flipped the coin. And they were like, heads or tails? And it turns out it was heads, or whatever it was. And it turns out that they flipped heads approximately 700 times in a row. And they're back on their whole coin shenanigans. Because Issa goes, he's dead! What part of him being dead do you not understand, Jack? And they're like, dead? Alive? You see one side of the coin, I see another. They finish each other's sentences. It sounds better in the game. What a reveal, your children's! On one side of the coin, you see death. On the other side, you see life. It's all a matter of perspective. It also works with me saying this because they do speak in an English accent. Or at the very least, an American's approximation of an English accent. But, you know, I can understand that. Start of the 20th century, you get the sort of transatlantic sort of accents going on. You're back, what nonsense did you miss? It's these two again. They appear in the doorway. And when I say they appear in the doorway, I mean they literally appear in the doorway. Like, they're not there and then they're there. And they're back on coin shenanigans. Talking about how being alive and being dead are like just two, they're just different sides of the same coin, really. This is purely a matter of perspective. This is children can teleport. Turns out. Turns out they might be able to do that. They say all you've got to do is choose what side you're looking at. And then they blink out of existence again. At this point, they're not even trying to hide the fact that these two are... something's going on with these two. But yeah, they blink out of existence. Boom, gone. And by boom, gone, I mean... boom, gone. But, in their place, we do see something else. While Jack's going, those two again. Why do they keep showing up? Issa's like, wait, no. What's that? It is a tear. And we can see through into this other world. And in that other world, the chair is empty. There is no body. And he says, like, I see. In this world, Gunny Smith isn't dead. So theoretically, all we have to do is walk through this tear and we enter a world where where he's not dead, so we can go and get him to make the guns. Are you ready to dimension hop? You see a very uncomfortable game. So at this point, it gives you the option: are you sure you want to go through? Because there ain't no going back once you've gone through. But you do have to go through. It's part of the story. Yep, that's happening now. So yeah, Issa opens up the tear, and sure enough, on the other side, we have the room's well lit on the other side. Interestingly, I don't think that's particularly, earth-shattering news. Sure enough, the chair is empty. And this place is a lot noisier. There's a lot of banging and shouting going on. It is an uncomfortable chair. Once you take out the body that was getting in the way of the structure of the chair, it doesn't look very well built, does it? But yes, the chair is empty. And the building is very noisy indeed. It's a computer chair now. It's like a barber's chair. It's fine. You have questions you don't think will get answered. Maybe. It might be. It gives a choice that isn't a choice. That's very uncharacteristic for this game. All of the choices we've made so far have had deep impacts on the story. Yeah, there's a chair. So okay, we can just leave, I guess. Just go out. So we go out the way we came. Hang on, I need to do some housekeeping with layers and such, because I forgot at the beginning of the stream. Right, so, coming out the way we came. You hate the illusion of choice. To be fair, this game is doing it deliberately. Every single choice you have in this game is basically pointless, and that's kind of the point of the story, but we'll get to that. No, what are you talking about? Which brooch you took was really, really important. Are there any other choices left in the game? Maybe. Yes. Sorry, not paying attention. Are you here? You might not be here. No, you're not here. I just remembered. So hey, Ghibli's not here. That's something. This world is largely the same, but just ever so slightly different. Like I say, it's a lot louder. Because these cells are now full of people. Very angry people. Who I'm not going to draw very in much detail because they're, like I say, it's full of people who are, and I don't have time. Full of very loud people. Actually, do you know what? No, and some of them have like red face paint on, and like tattered red fabric around them. A lot of red. Does that also mean there's a version of us walking around? We'll get to that. So yeah, there's people shouting and there's just absolutely full and all that sort of stuff is going on. Many, many people. All of the cells are just completely packed, apart from this one, which is empty for some reason. We'll get to that. We've got some stuff to get to in this stream. Also, this guard that we killed isn't having a great time of it. Turns out, what happened to your face? You hopping dimensions has a little bit of an issue. Because he can now remember the life he has here and the life he had from the dimension we came from. He remembers being killed, but he's still alive. Because in this dimension, he didn't die. But we killed him. And both of those memories are in his head, and he's not having a good time. And he has a big nosebleed. That doesn't make sense. We'll get to that. So yeah, basically everybody that you killed in this world, well not everybody, it's just game limitations, but theoretically everybody that you killed in this world, or everybody that you killed in the previous world, who is alive in this world, is having a bit of a time right now. Sorry, I didn't write the game. What else is different? We come here and Pigeon's dead. Did we murder a pigeon? We'll get to that. I'm so glad Chibi doesn't live anywhere near me, otherwise my shins would be raw. Does that mean that the pigeon in our dimension has a memory of being killed? Not necessarily. Well, we didn't kill them, so they're still alive back in the previous dimension. So I guess theoretically, if we killed them there and then we came back, it's not even necessarily being killed that does it. It's the fact that there's just this bleeding of dimensions and memories are coming through. It's all a bit weird. It's all a bit wibbly wobbly. Hi, Kiro. How you doing? Now don't smack me with the sword. Cardboard hurts when it's covered in so much duct tape. Speaking of cardboard, you know that box that had some stuff in it that had been seized from the Vox Populi? There's a lot more boxes now. This room is filled with boxes. And there's just like draped red cloth all over it and massive posters, like propaganda posters that they've seized of what's her face? Jeffelyn Beaverworth, I believe was the name we went with. A propaganda poster of her sort of outstretched hand. Hey, how is Akira? Is Akira good? Every time Jimmy says something, Chris goes, we'll get to that. You feel rejuvenated. Well, it's probably going to happen a lot. She's got like a gun. I'm out of drawer. This is a terrible drawing, but that's alright because it's a poster, so it doesn't... The artist for the poster could have just been really bad. There's too many assets! In this universe, there are many Kink Vaders. Yeah, she's got like an outstretched hand and it's like, join the Vox. And as you go up, the sounds are getting louder and louder of bangs and shouting and all sorts of things. Can I just say that one King Vader is more than enough. See, now I want to play Metal Gear Solid 2 on stream just so I can say, we'll get to that. And this has been like banned for contraband and all that sort of stuff. No, angry chip. And the torture video is still there. That's still there. But as you watch it, for some reason it has sound playing. I guess we have advanced technology because of interdimensional plagiarist. I would love to play MGS2. I mean, firstly I have to find a way to get it, because you can't buy it on PC anymore. TOS warnings near the end. There's a lot of... Yeah, there definitely... But also just like certain... There's some stuff with characters' backstories that are a bit... Yeah, I'll probably have to put a very brief warning just before that happens, because it comes out of nowhere and then disappears just as quickly as it did. And it's like, why did you put that in the game? Anyway. The ending of Metal Gear Solid 2 is wild, and I just want to show it off. But yeah, so there's still an interrogation scene. This is still happening. It was filmed. But halfway through it, somebody comes in and says, "Nah, let him go." I said, "Why? He was just about to tell us stuff." And they go, "Oh, his wife's got friends in high places." So, okay. So they let him go. So in this universe, it's free. Yep, sure. Might as well copy that as well. So we leave through the backstage area of this theater, the Happy Go Fun Time Theater. And we walk on stage, and people are like, "Who the hell are you?" And then they start shooting at us, and you hear, what's his name? Gregoris Termini, mustachioed asshole. He over the tannoy is saying, "Who the hell let these people in?" And then he says, I can't remember the name of the well, all the names are made up. So, I forgot about this joke. I'm gonna call this person Hedson. No, Headfoot. It's Mr. Headfoot. Is this person? And he goes, "Headfoot, here's my head of security. How on earth could you let people into this building without my knowledge?" So on and so forth. Anyway, turns out in this world, he's very much still alive and the head of security for this place. So this guy isn't dead. And this is just a clock. So you're just slowly seeing there's lots of bits and bobs that are just different around here. No blood. Happy Fun Time Club. Cool. And you make your way... Where's this? We'll copy that. Might as well. But we won't need it just yet. Seems like a lot of people are alive when Jack isn't around, apart from the pigeon. There's also a porcelain head of Abraham Lincoln with devil horns. You just find that lying around. We'll get to that. So you go back to the gunsmith. You go to the gunsmith shop because he's alive. Hooray! We need guns. So you go up to the gunsmith shop and you go up to the top and he's there. He's here. He's working on his tools. Now I've got to work out how Gunny Smith actually looks in this world. And you walk in and you're like, excuse me. And he goes, "Get out of here, it's too dangerous here. All these machines, it's very noisy, very busy. You're gonna get yourselves hurt. Get out of here." And he's just saying, "Oh, you can get out, go, I'll be down soon." He's sort of hunched over and he's working on stuff. It's looking very serious. And you know, I personally think expert gunsmith saying it's very dangerous around machinery, probably something, you know, I would personally try and pay attention to somebody giving me safety instructions on how to behave around such dangerous machinery. There is only one slight problem, and that is that he's in an empty room. What's when? Good question. Why didn't I think of it myself? What kind of machinery is he working with? Well, he's having a bit of trouble. Also, his nose is bleeding. Looks like he's doing feng shui or something. Not feng shui. Tai Chi, that's the one. Chris is just to go with it, question nothing, because Chris is just getting warmed up. You see the title of the stream? Because he's having trouble if there's no machinery, but he's going like, it's too loud, it's too dangerous in here, and there's just nothing. Apart from him and a nosebleed. You refuse. There were machines here previously, but now they're not. So that's a problem. It's difficult to make guns if you don't have machines. Particularly if you think that the machines are actually there and they're not. So in an effort to try and work out what's going on, you walk downstairs. And you find Mrs. Smith. And Mrs. Smith obviously has gone through some changes herself. We are now in a different universe after all. Give some ruffles. Again, like I said, the reason that Gunny managed to get out of torture time? It's the weirdest playgroup ever. Was that she has friends in high places. So obviously this is a much more sort of high society character. Probably a similar looking skirt. I don't know, maybe it's a little sash or something. Torture time! Hey kids! It's ready for It's the weirdest kids cartoon. There's an unpopular segment on Tots TV. It was torture time. And she's still crying. However, there's a couple of differences. Hair's different this time. She's got sort of more sort of traditional sort of Western hairstyle, maybe. I don't know how to do that. Also, and this is difficult to represent in my very hurried art style, so I'll just outright say it. She's not Chinese anymore. And this may also possibly be indicated by the fact that the decor here is ever so slightly different. And this isn't the statue of the Buddha anymore. No. Also, the music stopped. This is a statue of Father Jefferson. There's a big old flag down the back here. Can we go back to the other dimension? No. You made your choice, by which I mean it wasn't a choice. Well, can we get a cool new dimension? No, we've got new dimensions at home. New dimension at home. So yeah, now she's crying because her husband has come home and doesn't appear to be compos mentis. Is screaming about tools that aren't there, and she's like, he's not the same without his tools. He needs his tools in order to function properly. He needs his tools. Our choice was taken from us by lazy writing. Again, I feel like part of me wants to defend this game for actually trying to make a point about choices in video games, and the other part of me wants to say that this game is actually just not very well written, which is why we're doing the Drawthrough. If you want a game that has good commentary on choices in video games, play the Stanley Parable. Although I advise you to play the Stanley Parable anyway, because it's just very good. Also, hopefully, I'll be starting work on an Outliers comic about the Stanley Parable soon. And while there won't be many directly referential jokes, it's handy to get the point. Again, don't give a choice that isn't a choice. Stanley Parable. Stanley entered the door on his left. Did you know that the narrator from the Stanley Parable was in an episode of Doctor Who and they didn't bother crediting him? Just thought I'd throw that out there. So I remember watching it and thinking, I know that voice. And then I looked through the credits like, oh no, it wasn't him. And then I went on Twitter and he's like, why didn't they credit me? He's got a good voice. Everyone play the Stanley? Actually, play the Stanley? They are releasing an updated version of it soon, aren't they? Like more bits. So it's very rude. Yeah. So, long story short, we've got to get his tools. They've been taken to. They have been impounded in the police district building in Lower Turbiton Shantytown place. Plot convenient. We need to explore more of this world, so we need to go somewhere else. So we do that. We go off down to Shantytown, and there we see squalor. We see true poverty. People fighting over food and begging for medicine and all this sort of stuff. This is like we're in the lowest of the slums here. However, there's a bar. And there's a couple of things that are interesting in the bar. Firstly, there's a key to a chest in the police department because one of the policemen in the department's like, yeah, I'll have a drink with these people because I know I'm supposed to be arresting them, but they're nice people. And then I left the key in the bar, and if I tell my supervisor I left the key in the bar, he's gonna kill me. There's also a radio that's playing a rather nice sort of turn-of-the-century jazz version of Tainted Love, which is cool. I'm pretty sure this whole stealing music from other universes thing was just purely existed for the purposes of having cool, old-timey covers of songs. There's quite a lot of them in the soundtrack, which is why I'm playing the Grim Fandango soundtrack. However, speaking of covers, if you go down to the basement of this bar, there's nothing in there that's incredibly story-heavy, but there is a guitar. And Issa walks up to the guitar and she says, I wish I could play. It'd be nice to have something relaxing about now. And turns out Jack can play the guitar, at least a little bit. And he sits down and he plays the guitar and Issa starts singing along. Now, for the purposes of demonstrating what happens here, I have recorded this song because I can't play it for copyright reasons, but I have recorded my own version of it. And I will attempt, in the 48 seconds it takes to play, I will attempt to draw the scene that is occurring. So, yes. He's one good trait. He can play guitar relatively well. Fun fact, in this scene, obviously the voice actress for Issa sings the song. The voice actor for Jack plays the guitar. That's kind of nice. Also, the song is just quite how they could find a song that would actually have more symbolic reference to this game, I don't know. Yeah, so let's see if I can do this. Get a layer. I didn't need to do it. I just thought after I'd done the song, I was like, am I really going to draw this scene just so I can play the song? It's like, how about if I play the song to draw the scene? Right. Wish me luck. Will the circle be unbroken by and by and by? Is a better home awaiting in the sky? In the sky. Done. Right. That's the scene. I think it's pretty good. It makes it look like you're screaming. It does, rather. Yeah, we play the guitar as we're playing and singing. The kid comes out and Issa hands him an apple, and then he runs into the thing again, and that's what just happens. And then we leave. Best scene of the game. Do you know what's good about that? The guitar and the singing was all done in one take. The recorder and the kazoo took much more. Anyway, back to Grim Fandango. Please post this on Patreon. This is going to be the thumbnail now for the video. The VOD. Yeah, okay. We work our way through Shantytown. What do we see? We see there, well, like I say, we see a lot of poverty, people knocking over machines to steal the money to get food. I think Issa along the way opens up a tear to a box of food so that people can eat. I'll post it on Patreon for no reason. Right, what is... Okay, couple of things we see. I'm gonna take a drink. 1 second. "48 seconds of drawing really takes it out of you." Yeah, you're walking through the streets. You see, I quite like this as a sort of little symbolic motif. I say little symbolic motif. It's very unsubtle story writing, some people would say, but whatever. You're walking through these streets, and you're up in the sky. Force you to brave your headache and write in chat. Oh no, headache. I'm glad people liked it anyway. Yeah, so you're up in the sky, and all this is just like brick and cobbled streets and all these sorts of things. It's very sort of industrial, sort of city, sort of smoky, unpleasant. But people have made planters in the street to grow food. And you can see sort of like tomatoes or whatever just sort of growing on some sticks, sort of vines going up and crisscrossing around, and they're just growing some fruits. And it just sort of stands out in the middle of the streets, these sorts of... Yeah, hopefully your headache passes. And I apologise if the kazoo exacerbated it. I actually added more song for the purposes of the kazoo. Because they stop after like the second verse thing. But I added the last bit because I knew I needed to put the kazoo in there, and I needed comedic timing. It's important. However, Grim Fandango. If anything, that segment helped. I shall soothe you with the 100 greatest kazoo lullabies. So yeah, can't even grow food now anymore. So yeah, all of the planters have been sort of like, they haven't been taken away. Interestingly, they just decided to put metal up around. Like, no growing your own food. You got to buy the company food. Individual freedoms. What is this, Rapture? In our collab game, we need the guitar, flute, kazoo segment. Funnily enough, that's like the first recording I guess I've released of that recorder, and that recorder, Tri bought that recorder for me after the Forest of Doom. It's like, you need a recorder. So that's Pal's recorder. And that's the first thing that was recorded with it. Well, not the first thing that was recorded. I recorded a couple of other things, but I haven't released anything. Yeah, so no growing food. No food. Also, good old fashioned, they're not stocks, are they? What are they called? Pilliaries? I think it's a pilliary. A couple of pilliaries. Powell would be proud. To be fair, it's a good recorder, it's chromatic. Quite a lot of recorders are stuck to a particular scale. It is, however, a sopranino recorder, which means it's very, very high. But yes, there's a couple of people in the pillories, presumably also Vox sympathizers. I can't remember exactly what the thing says. Vox sympathizers or stock sympathizers. Oh, jokes. How's Poor? Poor's doing fine. Don't worry about it. Enjoying my Pokemon villain arc. Only ghosts. And I think there's a little girl sitting on the side of this singing or something. Look at his best friends. They're fine. It's got like red and white stripes on it. It's not particularly important. He says doing it. So yeah, we go through here and then we fight some stuff. Lots of fighting soldiers who are trying to do stuff for some reason. There's fights between. I guess this is the first time we've seen this. There's actually fights between the police and the Vox Populi happening. Only ghosts and whatever you can trade with you for ghosts. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the point. I can get 3 more for you. I haven't yet. I don't think I've yet caught a Saberline, but I can get. I need to catch 2 actually. There's 1 for you, 1 for me. But I also have the Stunky and something else. Can't remember. Anywho, sorry, sidetrack. Yeah, there's actual like fighting on skylines between the police and the Vox Populi, and if I haven't properly explained this up until this point, the Vox Populi are a rebellion group trying to, voice of the people, standing up for the little man, the oppressed person, the person who does all the work. Stunkin Sandal, that's the one. Yes. Yeah, so there's like outright fighting between them. You also come across I'll draw something else while this is happening. You also come across a voice recording. You find a lot of them around in this world. I guess this world doesn't really mean anything anymore, does it? I'm sorry, Frame Man is being very busy today. Like I say, I'll look into sort of bettering the stream over the weekend if possible. It's getting rather silly. Yeah, you find a audio log from... No, it's definitely on my end. Actually, do you know what? Did I draw a picture of this person? A bit after that. Might not have done. Doesn't look like it. Okay. There's an audio log from a person, and this person is like a hunter. I'm pretty sure I've talked about him before. And he's like hunting Vox Populi, and he sort of treats it like hunting animals. And he leaves messages for Jeffel and Beaverworth all around the place saying, "You're ready to fight nobly. If you fight with horrible tricks, I'm gonna treat you like the animals you are," etc., etc. This one's slightly different. This is next to a bear trap. And it's him. He starts the message, and he doesn't sound quite as confident as he used to. And he's like, "Well, you got me on this one. Got me on this one, Beaverworth. Set up a trap for your Vox messengers. Because I know they'd jump off the skylines and land straight in it, and I could, use them to get some information out of them. Didn't realize you were using children to send messages. So now I've got this, I think it says little Indian boy, just sort of staring at me. I think it ends with like, I wish he'd say something. I wish he'd cry or something. It's just like, this guy's like, I don't like this anymore. It's all fun and games when it was adults fighting adults, but when children get involved, yeah. And I just remember that being yeah, it's a thing. Like I say, I'm obviously not doing the delivery of that justice. That is it hits hard, that one. And that's the only reason I mentioned him before, and that's the last time I'm going to mention him. Because you just get that message, and it's just like, wow. But it ties into one of the central themes of the game, which maybe we'll get to by the end of the stream, maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, yes, you go into the police compound, and you find the tools. You break in, you shoot all the policemen, as happens, as well as just a motorized George Washington who's just there. You find a lot of them at this point. And you get to the bottom of the compound. Bottom of the impound, sorry, not compound. Imp. Let's call the whole thing off. And you find the machines. You find all of Gunny Smith's machines, all the things he uses to make guns. And they're here. And it's at this point that Jack goes, how are we going to get him out of here? Because, like, for reference, could have thought of that earlier. Yeah, exactly. This is all solid metal. The impound compound. Yeah, so we got here. We got the thing we need. And I guess I've been saying through this stream that, like, a lot of this game is sort of partly... this game tries to say too many things at once and it doesn't really succeed at any of them. But one of the things it does try to talk about is, like, choice in video games and why you do what you do in games. And part of me is thinking at the moment that this is, like, a commentary on just doing things in a game without thinking about it. It's like, why did we come here? We couldn't possibly bring it all back. So, in this situation, what would you do? Yeah, I think Jack literally says, yeah, we didn't think this through, did we? If you were Jack, you would have left 10 hours ago. That's fair. Also, our clothes are still ripped. This is important. You would have taken Easton to Paris. This is reasonable, you know. It's a reasonable thing to do. You'd be like, yeah, a lot of people are after me for money and stuff. But if we just go to Paris in our own airship, who the hell's gonna find us? Just sell the airship and get on with our lives. But hey, maybe Jack has a family to go back to. Also, this looks nothing like Jack, I apologize. But I also don't know how to fix it, so it's fine. Actually, we know Jack doesn't have a family to go back to. Okay, this is a conversation I forgot to mention that's probably quite important. Whatever. When Issa was sort of asking Jack about his, you know, what he's done, when we were talking about him working for the Pinkertons and Wounded Knee and Peking and all that sort of stuff, she asked him about family. That was his family. Do you know, does he have a partner or anything? And he says, not anymore. was married, but she died in childbirth. To which Issa says, "Oh, so you have a child?" And he says, "No." That's the end of that conversation. Because he ate her. All that. Oh, hey, King Vader. It's an inappropriate time to come up, King Vader. Yeah, I just remember that conversation. I remember thinking while I was playing through, I should remember to talk about that. And I didn't. That should have happened before we went to the Hall of Halls. Frayman, stop it. Again, feel free to pause and replay the stream. If you're quite a lot behind, it should catch you up. Talking Vader is all about inappropriate things. Yeah, that makes sense. Right, well, I don't know about you, but if I was faced with this situation, my solution would obviously be to rend a hole in the fabric of reality, in which the machines aren't there in the first place. Do you think that's a good idea? I reckon it's a good idea. No, you're gonna live in pain. Don't! You deserve comfort and hot chocolate, cheesecake, or whatever. It's a valid solution. In this world, anyway, it is. Yeah, and so once again, we are given the choice. Do we walk through to another world? Who knows what's different there? Things were quite different here. A pigeon was dead. And how many people are we going to give nosebleeds in the process? Who knows? Let's go through. So we go through, and nothing's here. All the machines are gone. I'm not going to draw empty shelves, but they're gone. And we go outside. Well, first we walk through the police station, which is now full of people glitching out, getting nosebleeds, saying, "I died, but I'm still alive." Yeah, so we come back out. People aren't in the stocks anymore. That's nice. They're not there. Sorry, pillories, not stocks. Stocks are for feet. This perspective makes no sense. I apologize. You know what? Let's go for broke. Let's have all of the all of the holes have a different perspective. This one is, so we're looking at it from above. This one is going to be from this way. Escher's pillory, right. When you raise the head first, it looks like they got beheaded. Possibly, but probably not. Because in this world, the fruit is still locked up for some reason. But in this world, there's some other interesting things. More posters. Who doesn't love good posters? Also, the noises are even louder here. Well, shouting and screaming and banging and explosions and stuff. Things are loud. You had Hillary the first time. You're confused and just accepted that's what it's got. No, a pillory. Hillary. It is where you get pilloried. It is a noun that gave birth to a verb, or possibly the other way around. Not sure. It's probably like that. Feels more evangelical. So something like this, probably. Yeah, so this world's a little different. Do you remember when you asked earlier about in this world, or in the previous world? In World 2, we're now in World 3. It's like Mario. You know, is there another Jack running around? Turns out there was one here. Can we be this Jack instead? Oh, wait. Yeah. And yeah, there's posters everywhere of this one. There's massive posters up the sides of buildings. There's all sorts. And, you know, Jack is having a time, shall we say. I've said that a few times in this stream, but... because, as has been ever so slightly telegraphed over the course of the past hour and a half, he remembers. He remembers this life that he didn't lead, but he did in a different world. He remembers joining Thaddeus Gajibli at the Hall of Heroes and helping to destroy it and leading fight against Father Jefferson with him. He remembers helping out the Vox with their revolution, albeit it's not really, didn't really want to, it's just sort of part of taking down Jefferson, to be honest, but, you know, he helped. And he says, like, hey, you need to stop doing that because your nose is bleeding. Why can I never draw you? Why do I choose this style? This is a terrible style to do these things in, because I can never draw the same character twice. Close enough. Oh, there we are. Allow. Turns out just explicitly allowing the word whore is not enough. This world, the Vox 1, not yet. That's all the noises you're hearing. That's you with your own style. Nonsense! Have you seen your work? I bet you haven't. You should. I can tell you one thing, if there's one way to make you feel worse about your own work, you need to look up this artist online called Just Miss Art. Their art is so good you'll feel bad about your own work. But Doctor, I'm just Miss Art. If anyone understands what anything I just said there, it's good. You have my condolences. There is a box here. Because I kind of want to get this section done before we finish today. So I'm not gonna... I've got to draw the rest of the body. Yeah, Issa's like, you might want to stop thinking about, try and focus on, like, you know, the life you did lead. That'd be great. And come to my house and throw apples at my window. No! Did lead or does lead? What? I can't remember. Does that help? Anywho. So we make our way through, and we start hearing as we're going through Shantytown. I don't think it's called Shantytown. What's it called? Is it called Shantytown? It might be called Shantytown. See, now I'm trying to think of a song called Shantytown, which is like a ska song, and I can't remember who it's by, but now all I'm hearing is Lip Sync's Funky Town, but with Shantytown instead. Would you take me to Shantytown? I'm getting incredibly off the rails here. He said, think about the life you did lead. Did lead, does lead. Leads, lead, will lead. It's an interesting... We'll get to that. Where are we? Yes, we're going through Shantytown, and we're hearing... we see the airship in the air. I'm not going to draw it. We see the airship in the air. In fact, there's a lot of things here I'm not going to draw. I'm just going to talk about. A lot of things to do with airships and explosions. We see the airship that we're after in the air. And it's the airship that's got the big screen on the side that Father Jefferson used before. Funnily enough, we had a nosebleed when that happened. When was it? After this. There, this one, big screen. Only instead of Father Jefferson's face, it's Jeff Limbeatherworth's face, because she has it. That's who we're trying to get it from. And she's, you know, delivering rousing speeches to the revolting masses. And saying, we need to rise up and strike back. We need to pick up your arms. We're going to storm the gates of Terminaton's ill-gotten palace. We're going to do it today. We're going to... If you want to... Well, what's the phrase? She doesn't have many, like, individual memorable phrases, but I think the one phrase she does repeat a lot is that... if you want to kill the weed, you got to pull it up by the roots. She says that quite a lot. So it's all about plants. We're back to plants. So it's basically inciting the revolution. The revolution is currently happening in this world. And yeah, so we work our way back up to Terminaton from Shantytown. There's lots of fighting on the streets, and we're on the side of the revolutionaries, so they help. And we make our way back to Gunny Smith. Where is Gunny Smith and his wife? Best draw. There they are. It's here that we find like a voxophone, a recording of us. We're hearing the voice of ourself from this dimension, of Jack's voice, but revolutionary Jack. And he's like, hey, I don't know what this whole Jefflin Beaverworth has to do with anything, but hey, I'm with Slate and we're going to try and take down Father Jefferson. So we might as well team up. She needs guns or something, I don't know. So he's clearly like, you know, even this Jack, his heart isn't in the revolution. He just wants to take down Father Jefferson. So allies of convenience. Anyway. Everyone's relaxing to the jazz. Nice, relaxing Wednesday evening, listening to a little light jazz. Anyway, Gunny and his wife are dead. Turns out in this world, they're dead. Very relaxing, could use more recorder and kazoo. We're making so much progress, yeah. Hi, miss. So Issa doesn't take this one very well. Because we were in a world where they were alive. That was the point of going to that world. Do you remember that? And then we opened up this one, and they're dead. And Issa's like, did I do this? If I hadn't opened that portal, they would still be alive. And Jack's like, no, they're different worlds, right? So it's like, technically they're still alive in the previous one, but they're just not alive here. And Issa's like, no, but did I actually make this world? Did I make a world in which they are dead? You know, he's like, these. I've said before that these things sort of happen when I'm in, you know, the portal. I find the tears. I don't, you know, They don't manufacture the tears, but I find them when I need something, so they're sort of a form of wish fulfillment. Did I wish for them to die? So she's having a bit of a time. A lot of people are having a bit of a time. That seems to be the theme of this part of the game. But the thing is we needed to come here to get the guns to start the uprising. The uprising's happening. So I guess we don't need the guns anymore? Or I guess the guns have already been gone. Because other us in this world got them. Yes, yes, you did. Issa Sweetie Jack killed so many more people. Yeah, but she hasn't. She hasn't killed anyone. She has taken great pride up until this point in saying that she will not be involved in the killing of people. She will just throw you ammunition and heal you. She will enable you to kill people, but that's not her thing. She doesn't want to be involved in taking somebody's life. Use the way I've drawn that hand, that's going to be this arm. Are we taking her at her word? Did she hit Jack with a wrench? Yes. Didn't knock you unconscious, it's fine. She's probably saved your life more time than she caused harm to it. That did have the ring of, and yet you live in a society. You claim to hate violence, but you hit a person with a wrench for being violent. You're floating, Issa. So now, do you remember that locked door I talked about at the beginning of the stream? Yeah, we walk outside the gun shop, and the door's right there, and the lock explodes. Not randomly, somebody put explosives on it. Because that is the lock, that is the door that has the lock on it that leads straight to Gregoris Termini's office. Well, not straight into, there's a big corridor, big walkway, there's lots of things in between, but it's pretty much a straight line. And we do some things as we go through. We shoot some stuff. We destroy an airship because the airship is stopping us from getting in. And all of the revolutionary people look up at us and go, "It's Jack! It's Jack Walters! It's the hero! He's back!" And then they start chanting your name, that you took down an airship. Which, to be fair, is a pretty cool thing to do. And I started, Walters, Walters, as you storm into the gates of the thing, the Terminaton building. I don't think it has a name. The place where Gregoris Termini is. If you hit somebody with a wrench, they could die, especially when you hit them in the head. They could do, but this is Issa we're talking about. Issa has extensive knowledge of medical stuff. To the extent that I don't even know what it's called. She can bring you back from the dead from jumping off a city in the sky. She also has the kind of arm control that can throw you a box of ammunition from 500 feet away. Which means that she's incredibly strong, yes, but she also knows how to use that strength. Oh, Jack feels terrible from this false praise. Look, there are many things to question this game about. If this is where you're going to be saying that you know, let's wait till the end of the stream, then we'll talk about it. Because we're coming up to a thing. I can just copy a frame now, actually. This is going to be a lot easier. We've done a lot of, quote, drawings, unquote, today. Yeah, this. Because we can now go in a lift to work our way up to the top of the Terminaton Tower. That's where we're going, top of the Terminaton Tower. Also means if Visa did decide to start killing people, strength would not be an issue. Exactly. Okay, so you're going to shoot someone and they die. It's not your fault you shot to wound. Yes. There's a difference between murder and manslaughter, you know that. It's not your fault, they're different. Yes, so we're going to lift. This time it's not the clock. There's just like a factory, something behind it. Morally speaking, this is a completely different question. We're not going to get into the morals and ethics of this sort of discussion here, because let's face it, the game does a bad enough job of that. They're making like cabinets or something. There's a big old factory line. You start seeing factories making all sorts of things, etc., etc. Shooting the flying tattoo is your fault if you die, not mine. No, that's the fault of the person who's being tortured who might not resist torture. That's got nothing to do with the sniper or the person who got shot, turns out. It's entirely down to whether or not the person who just fed another you for no reason resists torture with somebody else not involved. It's a weird system. Look, I don't know, I don't pretend to understand the law or morals, but when snipers and torture are involved, weird things happen. For those of you who are not following the Metal Gear Solid playthrough, this sentence, this whole conversation is probably a bit weird. Yes, so we're going up a lift up into the top of the Terminaton Tower, and the phone goes. We're used to this at this point, which is why I just decided to copy the thing. She's not quite so annoyed anymore. She doesn't know what's going on. But this time it is not Gregorus Termini. This time it is Jeffelin Beaverworth. One day I will remember these names without having to stop for 5 seconds to think what it is. Imagine if Meryl had just died of shock. What a different story that would have been. That would have been great. Boyfriend ending. Yeah, so it's actually, this time it's Jeffelin Beaverworth on the other end, and she's like, "You're dead. You're supposed to be dead. I saw you die. The Jack Walters I know died for our cause." Now, I think the phrase she uses is, that means you're either a ghost or an imposter. Imposter? Ominous, yeah. Well, we did, to be fair. In this world, we did. Hence the nosebleed. A lot of nosebleeds in this game. Tattoo shooting is not murder. What if the tattoo's a target? You're telling us this in an elevator through the phone, yes. But she does say something which I do always like. This is the I can't remember exactly what the build-up is, but basically the idea is like, oh, you're either an imposter or a ghost, and either way, you complicate the narrative. And then she hangs up. Which is a bit rich coming from this game, but from her point of view, like, she's just had posters manufactured and put everywhere to inspire people to fight in the name of the martyr to the cause, and he's just come back. You know, it was a good, simple story. That doesn't work anymore now. Right. Well, if you shoot a tattoo in the head... Speaking of which... I don't know quite how I'm going to do this scene. Because it's a sequence of events. Do you know what? Let's do it as a storyboard. Oops. And then they blow the elevator up and they both die at the end. I did realize I missed a trick with this Drawthrough, which is that every time somebody points out something that could just have very obviously, you know, been ridiculous, what happens if he just died when he fell from the thing when Chicken was after him? Why didn't he just, you know, the number of times he could have drowned, all the ridiculous ways in which Jack could have survived. I could have answered with the incredibly correct, but nonetheless very nonsensical response, he doesn't row. And I feel like that's exactly the sort of thing that would annoy Chibi immensely. Right, first things first. He doesn't row. He doesn't row. No, he doesn't row. Sorry, gotta get specific. What do you mean he doesn't row? No, he doesn't row. And that's not me being silly. I mean, it is me being silly. He doesn't row. Yes, specifically doesn't row. It's not that he doesn't row, it's that he doesn't row. Bioleg will have a heart. Trust me, it wouldn't make sense even if you won. The only way that would make sense is if you played this game before. But I trust you, if you have played this game before, it does make sense. Explain, I can't. The explanation for that will only come right at the end of the game. But there is enough information for you to be able to work it out now, I think. Whether or not you remember everything that's happened in the last 10 weeks is up to you. Anyway, we start by finding Grigori Gregorus Termini. That's the one. Fortunately, however, I don't have to remember that name for long. Because he is behind a window. This is a window. Isn't that nice? Stage 2. Hang on, I've got a brush for this, haven't I? Nice. I hate this game. I haven't even played it. A lot of people who have played it have exactly the same feeling. Yeah. Bang. He's dead. He just got shot in the head. Pretty sure we can all agree that one is murder. Yeah, so. Racist down. Hooray. Step 1. Who was it? It was. That's right. Anybody who watched the Sunday stream will know that how experienced I am at drawing various different types of hair. You thought it was going to be a fun window. Alas, no. It's Jeffelyn. She's here. She doesn't look like herself, but that's my fault. Also, she like runs her hand along the glass where the blood is, and then like smears it on her face. So she's got like a handprint on her face of blood. Ew. She has a gun. And she is evidently not afraid to use it. She ain't no rookie. She ain't no Meryl. That's not how barrels work. It's fine. It's a gun. Is Freedom Fighter Martyr things going into your head? Well. Perspective be damned, she is not alone. She has with her a small child, a white child, to be precise. And the game does intend to be precise. It's not just me. Because, and I quote, if you want to kill a weed, you gotta pull it up by the roots. I'm guessing violence against kids is against Twitch terms of service as well. Is it good if it's for narrative purposes? So I'll be honest. This bit's the reason I wanted to do the Drawthrough. Like, I love all the ridiculous time-hopping, dimension-hopping stuff. That's the reason I love the game. This scene is the reason I wanted to do the Drawthrough. Because this game, and I've missed out some dialogue that makes this a little bit more obvious. But this game really wants to two sides this whole revolution situation. Again, with the discussion that we had before of like, well, violence is violence. Violence in the name of liberation is still violence. Evil can come from all sides. I think at one point Jack actually says, oh, that Jeff Lynne Beaverworth and Father Jefferson, they're made for each other. They're just two sides of the same coin or something like that. Like, it's very heavy-handed with this. I've skipped over a lot of stuff. Because... Also, I have no idea what's going on with the anatomy of this kid. But it is what it is, don't worry about it. So yeah, basically she's like, gotta kill them all. Regardless of their anatomy. That makes a little bit more sense. No grey, exactly. She's choking and pointing a gun at him, also breaking his back all in one go. She's very skilled. Good at multitasking. Your hands are in your pockets. Sure. And Issa ain't happy about this whole situation. She's like, oh my god, stop, don't kill her, kid, what the hell are you doing? And so we give her a little push up into the air vents, and we... because this is an isolated room. We're just seeing this through like a bulletproof window. And... Oh yeah, Grigoris is down here somewhere. He's dead. Should I point that out? He's just slumped down. So yeah, Issa's like, oh, we gotta stop her. So we give her a little boost up into the air vent so that she can get in and try and stop her somehow. And we just stop talking to her, and we're like, you know, you don't have to do this. This part doesn't need to be part of your evolution. You can't just stop the whole, you know... You can stop the system without killing literally everyone. She's like, no, pull it up at the roots, etc., etc. At this point, a pair of scissors gets shoved through her chest. You get what they're going for, but also, which is fine, don't worry about it. More blood splats. There's a fly buzzing around my desk, it's distracting. But yeah, like I said, this was the kind of thing I wanted to do the Drawthrough for, because I get what they're going for. But it's not done well, and I feel like it's just aged so poorly. I don't think this is the metaphor that works, you know, 2020s onwards. Like, I agree. I'm a Shades of Grey kind of guy. It's always Shades of Grey, but not the best example given recent history. So do you remember about 10 minutes ago when I was saying that Issa wanted absolutely nothing to do with all the killing? Yeah, Shades of Grey. And also, you definitely don't condone child murder. I'd like to think so. But also, like, in what kind of world would you say revolution to free people from borderline slavery is just as bad as the system that keeps it in place? I know! I want to find that post that was going around of, like, the brief review of Bioshock Infinite that was, like, you know... Jack Walters goes around moralizing about how revolutionaries are just as bad as their oppressors while killing 700 policemen. Anyway, yeah, Issa's having a time. As is everybody here. She just killed someone with a pair of scissors. It's very funny. If you attempt to describe this game succinctly, it is nonsense. It is complete nonsense. That's what it accidentally says, isn't it? Probably didn't mean to say. Probably meant to say don't go too far. That's the point. Is that any ideology can breed extremism. I think that's the message they were trying to say. But as I say, there's a lot of things this game tries to say, and none of them really succeed. Anyway, Issa's not happy. She's a bit wild right now. You go near her and she's just like, ah! And then she runs away into the airship. And we'll leave it there, I think. There's a brief little storyboard. It's not the end of the world. Oh, just before we go, you do pick up a last voice message from yourself, from this world, who says something about, like, you know, not really wanting to care about helping out in the revolution and apologizing to people for not being there and so on and so forth. And his last word, if I recall correctly, splattering through blood, your last words from this world are bury. And with that, we'll end. Remember, he doesn't row. So I hope you remember all that for next time. The plot is now most action movies and TV series. Or what? Barry. Yeah, that's a stream. It is the stream What Happened. Barry with an I. But yeah, I just remember like back in the day playing this and sort of going, this is clunky. I don't necessarily agree with what I'm getting from it, but I kind of get what they were going for. Playing this more recently, it doesn't hold up. This is the way the storytelling in this section of the game is. It does not hold up. Barry, there's barrels. There's barely barrels, Barry. What? What's when? What is when? It's one of those eternal questions we'll just never know. What are the names you asked for with Bioshock? Maybe. Although the fact that I said maybe is probably a good indication. Frame Man has been here consistently throughout the entire stream. Usually goes away for a bit, but no, it's been all the way through. I apologise for that. You don't remember anything? I asked you for a bunch of things right at the beginning of the game. What was it? I asked you for the name of the main character, a feminine first name, an initial, a surname, and a number between 1 and 100. This is why you make players for recaps for RPGs. Yeah. Frame Man really wanted to witness Childman. Frame Man was trying to stop it, probably. Again, Frame Man isn't evil. Frame Man's here purely for chaos. Frame Man wants revolution, but everybody should have like those massive Q-tips you had in Gladiators. No guns, just those. Just batting everyone over the head with foam. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Let's hop on over to the Saturday. There it is, Saturday. I'll be back on stream on Saturday. With friends, hopefully, playing Wildermyth, which is a good time, if utterly bizarre. Yeah, I assume there will be a Chibanurthas. I don't know why I can't say that normally. It's mainly because it's a terrible pun, and I can say that because I made it. Waldermoth. Foam wrenches, yeah. Well, a lot of prop wrenches, or prop weapons in films are made of foam, aren't they? So, maybe. Chibanurthas Day? Yeah. Are we going to be treated to more, wart ales? I can actually remember the joke name easier than I can remember the actual name. Yes, wart ales. Wart ales. Apple wife. Apple pancakes. Maybe you don't want to try the criminal route again, but this time better. I think it went splendidly last time. I say that as the donkey that survived. He might be staying off the road. Off-road criminaling. 4x outlaw. Yeah, that doesn't really work. Outlaw by 4? That probably works better, but still not good. Just want to try it. Yeah. So it's worth a try with these sorts of things. Give it a go. You know, I tried doing a run of Bloodborne with just broccoli. Turns out that was awful, but you need to try. Yeah. So Wildermyth from me Saturday. Friday, we've got Patreon hangout stuff, doodling veggies probably. Sunday, doodles with friends. Tuesday, more Metal Gear Solid. Wednesday, carrying on with this, seeing how Ace is doing. Not well is the answer. Yeah. hope you have a lovely time. Hope you enjoyed this rushed mess of a stream. I wanted to get to that bit because that's like the culmination of this part of the story. And I want people to go off and talk about how ill-advised it is. Because we've barely seen this character as like representative of revolution, and the very first thing they try and do is try and kill a kid. Enjoyed it. Also, it didn't feel rushed. Don't worry. It didn't feel rushed. It did not feel rushed. You're telling me that it didn't feel rushed. Thank you for coming along. Have a lovely time, everyone. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you when I see you. Drink lots of hot chocolate, regardless of your current circumstances. And look after yourself. Goodbye! Bye, thanks for being here. Bye!